Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this crochet bikini. What you're going to need for this project is a 4mm hook or a size US 6 and 3 different colors. Or you can use variegated yarn and make the whole thing using variegated yarn. It's up to you. What you'll need here is I'm going to go ahead and use these 3 colors, and they're all worst weight yarn, which is size 4 ply in the US, and for Europe it's 10 ply. So I'm going to choose, I guess I'm going to go for blue for my center. Get my 4mm hook, and we start off making the center. Get a little closer here, by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then in the beginning chain, slip stitch to form a ring, then chain 2, and this will count as the first double crochet, and then double crochet 14 more inside the ring. So that's 2 and 3, and I'll see you back here when you have a total of 15 double crochets. When you get to the end of the row, slip stitch in the top of the chain 2 at the beginning, and then you want to chain 2 again. Again, this will count as your first double crochet, and in that same stitch do another double crochet, and you want to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around for a total of 30 stitches at the end of this round. Now you want to slip stitch again into the top of the chain 2, the beginning stitch, chain 1, get your yarn and cut. And then get your color that you want to use for the middle part. I kind of look at this as a flower. This is the inside. Kind of had a sunflower in mind. So you just did the middle, now you need to pick a color for the outside. I'm going to go with red this time. So get your red, make your slip knot, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach it in the same spot. That way I can hide both my tails at once. Slip stitch to attach, and then chain 3. Then what you want to do is skip 1 stitch and slip stitch into the next, and then chain 3 again. And then again you want to skip a stitch and slip stitch into the next, and chain 3, and continue to do that all the way around. Chain 3, skip a stitch, slip stitch in the next, chain 3, skip a stitch, slip stitch in the next, and at the end you should have 15 of these little petals. And when you get to the end of the row, slip stitch here in the same space where you began. Just like that. And then you want to chain 1 and then slip stitch into this first left chain 3 space. Then chain 3, slip stitch into the next, and chain 3, and slip stitch into the next. Continue to do that for the remainder of the round. Chain 3 and slip stitch in the next chain 3 space. And when you get to the end of the row, back where you began, what you'll want to do is this bottom, see the stitches here? This is my first one from the last round, and then this is the first one from this row. This was from the last round. So what you want to do is slip stitch into the one from the last round here. Slip stitch into there from the previous beginner row. Then you want to chain 1 and then slip stitch into this first stitch from this row we just finished. And now you're ready to start the next row. You chain 3, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. Continue to do that all the way until you get back to the beginning. Again, I've come to the end of my row, and like before, you have a space. The space was from the previous row. You want to slip stitch into that one first, and then slip stitch into the first stitch from this row you just did, and that'll bring you back up to the top, where you'll chain 3 again and slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, and again slip stitch into the next stitch, and continue to do this again for this whole round. Came at the end again. I know it's harder to see on this row where you began, but if you can find it, make sure that you slip stitch into the previous round and then into the next round, the one that you're just doing. And this row will be the final row of these chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because we need four rows total. So continue to chain 3 and bring yourself all the way back around to the beginning. Okay. When you get back to the beginning, just slip stitch again into the previous row, chain 1, cut your yarn, and then grab your next color, which I'm going to go with white. I'm going to use white again to go around the outside of the flower. Make your slip knot. I'm going to attach it again here in this chain 3 space to the left of where I cut my yarn. I'm going to attach it there and grab both my tails so I can work over my tails. So slip stitch into the chain 3 space. I'm going to chain 2, which counts as my first double crochet, and then I want to do 2 more double crochets in this chain 3 space. And then each space in between the chain 3 has a little stitch where you slip stitched. You need to put 1 double crochet into that stitch, just like that. And then again in the next chain 3 space, do 3 double crochets. And then in this stitch, I know it's difficult to see, but see there's a stitch in between. Put 1 double crochet into that stitch. So what you want to do is continue to put 3 double crochets in each chain 3 space, and then 1 double crochet in the in between stitch, all the way around till you get back to the beginning again. Okay, I just got done with my round, and I'm going to slip stitch into my beginning chain 2 space. Slip stitch, chain 1, and cut your yarn. And I just want to make a note here that You can change at any point the size of this. You can make only one center and then start your red row here. And I did 4 red rows. Maybe you only need 3. I mean, you can adjust it to your size. So if you're smaller, then, you know, leave out some rows. And if you're bigger, feel free to add rows of whichever that you want. This next one, I'm going to grab my blue again, my last row. And I'm going to attach it here, the same space that I ended. Slip stitch my color onto there and chain 3. And I'm going to skip 2 stitches. So count over 2, and in the third, do a slip stitch. Then chain 3, slip stitch over 2 spaces, and chain 3. Skip 2 stitches, slip stitch, and chain 3. And continue to do this for the whole round. And I'll see you when you get back to the beginning. And again, when you get to the end, just go ahead and slip stitch into that same space where you started. Chain 1, slip stitch into the stitch to the left like you did before when we were doing this middle section here. Then chain 3 and slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. Then chain 3 and slip stitch in the next chain 3 space. And continue to do that all the way around till you get to the beginning. When you get to the beginning again, just go ahead and slip stitch in the same, this first one, from the very first row, just go ahead and slip stitch into there, and chain 1, and cut your yarn. Now you need to make 2 of these, so when you have your second one done, I'll continue to show you how to put it together. Okay, when you got both of your cups done, get your red yarn or whatever of the colors you want to use here. And we're going to be doing foundation single crochets. You can do 6 or 8 or more, depending on how wide you want the cups apart from each other. For this tutorial, I'm going to be doing 8. So what you do is you chain 2, go into the previous, the first, I should say, if you can see here. So I chain 2. I'm going to go into this first chain, pull up a loop, then go through one of the loops, this first one here, and then you want to go through both loops. And that's going to be your first single crochet. And then when you're getting ready to go through your second, you have this part that you just got done. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light for you. I don't know why my light's so bad. Here, maybe that'll help. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, let's start over again. Let me show you. If you don't know how to do a foundation single crochet, you chain 2, go into the first chain, pull up a loop, go through only one of the loops, then go through both of the loops. And now this one right here that you just went through both loops is the top stitch, and the one that you just went through one of the loops is the bottom stitch, and the bottom stitch is the one you want to pick up. It'll usually be longer. As you can see, this one's long and then this is short. because this one's completed, the other one is half. So what you do is you take this longer piece, pull up a loop, and do the same thing as you did before. You go through 1, and then you go through 2. Then when you're ready, go back down to this first stitch, and then that's where you pull up your loop again. I'll show you, see if I can get the camera here. See, this is my last stitch that I just did. Still can't see it very well. This, see these 2 stitches here? Well, on your own project you'll see it with 2 little separate stitches. That's the completed one. The one underneath you should be longer, and on the edge you'll see a loop here. If you look at it like this, you can see you're doing, if you were doing a chain, this would be the bottom chain, and if you were doing single crochet in the chain, that would be the top. So essentially you're going through the chain part. You're grabbing that bottom stitch, pull up a loop, go through 1, that creates the chain at the bottom, and then you go through 2, which creates the single crochet. You want to do a total of 6 to 8, like I said, depending on how wide. Maybe you want to have 10, but I do a total of 6. I think I'm going to do 8 for this one because I did 8 for the other. 2, 4, 6. Do 2 more. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my 2 pieces. Back up just a bit here. I want to put them with the good sides facing one another so that the outsides are both the reverse sides. And what you want to do is grab a loop from both of these. Grab both of the blues and make sure they're next to the white. And I'm going to just slip my work into those. And I have to turn so I can start to crochet. I'm not left-handed. And then now, as before, we had a chain and a single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch in the chain part of the foundation and also through the single crochet part. Just try to find 2 places to stick stitches, and then chain 1 and cut your yarn, kind of a long tail, so that you can work them in. And I just kind of weave it in, going through 1 stitch to the next. Or you can cut it long and use a tapestry needle. It's up to you. When it's in there good enough, I just go ahead and cut the excess off. And then flip it back over. And that's the middle connection part. Now, as you can see here, in this completed one, here it is. This is the bottom. I've woven a foundation single crochet through the bottom stitches, just through the bottom 3 stitches, and the same for this one. And then I just weave it through, and then I just continue on and then start weaving it through here, and it just becomes one long continuous connection, because I wanted to have something at the bottom to where, you know, it could support you a little bit underneath. So this chain here is a foundation single crochet of 105. So once you get the 105 done, I'll show you how to continue. Also, I want to make a note is I went ahead and used the same color so that the weaving doesn't show up. So I recommend that you go ahead and use whatever color you used for the outer ring to make this foundation crochet of 105. But it's your choice if you want to use another color. Okay, when you get to the end of your 105 foundations, chain 1 and cut your yarn. And you can work your tail end through stitches, weaving them back and forth. And do the same for this one. But I want to show you how to what I did is I started from the left here and I used 3. So I'm going to do the same here. Just count over to make it even. This is the center stitch. So when I say the center connection, I should say. This is what I mean when I say center connection. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I went in through the 7th. So you take this one and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go in through the bottom, from the back I should say. Come up and then weave it down, and come up and weave it down. And then you should have 3 connections, so I need to do it again. I need to come up here and weave it down one more time. I'm getting kind of close to the edge. I think I want to come back more. I want it to support, but not be like right there on the end. So I think I'm going to go in through, let's see, if I need 3, this would be 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start here. 2 spaces make 1 connection, so you can just count over from where you know you want it to end, which is here. You want it to support from underneath. This last one, I'm just going to bring up. Let's see here. I guess that's good right there. That way you can tie it, make it go underneath, and still have it come over. Okay. So I have 1 connection in between here. So I guess I'm going to come up through here. And this is not going to be sewn down. So if it's too high, feel free to make it, start from farther away over here. Maybe you'd want to start it there. All this stuff is adjustable in size and design, however you want it. Because everybody's different, everybody likes to wear it different. Okay. So yeah, see it comes a little tall here, but see it's not over. See, when I think about support, I think it should probably start here. So you may want to start here. But anyway, when you got it where you want, and you can try it on and see if it supports you the way that you want, because it doesn't have connection on this side, you may want to start here. And somewhere in the middle, and bring it down so that you have the support. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make these little triangles that go up to the top. The first one, I went by using the center connection piece, and from here I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come from over here. From the center, when you do the left one, you'll count these little ruffles stitches as being 1 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 and 7. This triangle piece is worked using 3 of these chain 3 spaces. Since you're crocheting to the left, you'll want to start on the 5th one over here. And since you're crocheting to the left, you'll want to count over 7. and then this will be your 7th, and then you'll crochet over. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use my blue yarn again. So I want to start over here by crocheting starting on the 7th. And when you do the right one, you want to have the good side facing you. But when you do this one, you're going to need to have the back side facing you. When you do this, the foundation for the strap itself. So I'm going to count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my 7th one, I'm going to connect. I believe I went under both. Nope, just one. Went under one here. Slip stitch your color on there. And then single crochet 2. 1 and 2. And then in the next chain 3 space, single crochet 2. And then the next chain 3 space, single crochet 2. Now you want to chain 1 and turn, and single crochet 1 in each stitch. So you'll have a total of 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this last one here. Okay, then you chain 1 and turn, and then this one we're going to do a decrease in this by gathering the first 2 stitches, pulling through all 3 loops, and then do a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to decrease again using these last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn, and single crochet in all 4 stitches. And chain 1 and turn, and then you're going to decrease using the first 2 stitches, and then decrease using the second 2 stitches. And then you want to chain 1, turn, do a single crochet in each of those stitches. Chain 1, then you're going to want to skip this first stitch and just slip stitch into the second stitch. And then we're going to start our foundation crochet. For my strap, I used 45 foundation crochets, but you can use whatever you want. So start off by chaining 2, and then in the first chain, again, pull through 1 loop, and then pull through 2 loops. And that's your first. That's going to count as your first. So do 44 more of these, and then I'll see you back here. Okay, at the end of the 45 foundation crochet, or however many that you made, cut your chain 1, cut your yarn, and then you can weave in your ends again. Let me show you how to do the next triangle. Get your blue yarn again. Where am I? Backward. There we go. And on this side, we want to count only 5 over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're starting here. This connection part above, I'm counting as the first. And I did the same on this side too. This would be 1. Slip stitch my color, and then I'm gonna single crochet 2 into this first chain 3 space, and then single crochet 2 and the next, and then single crochet 2 in the third space, then chain 1 and single crochet in each of the 6 stitches. Then chain 1, turn, and then you're going to decrease in the first, using the first 2 stitches, and then the next 2 stitches do 1 single crochet, and then using the last 2 stitches do a decrease. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the 4 stitches, chain 1, flip, and then you have 4 stitches, so you're going to be doing 2 decreases. Decrease using the first 2 and decrease using the second 2. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet in each of those stitches, then chain 1, turn, and skipping the first stitch, slip stitch into the next, just like that, and chain 2. Now you want to have the back side facing you to do this round of foundation crochets. So I chain 2. I'm going to go in through the bottom one, do my first foundation single crochet, just like that. And you want to continue all the way up through, just like you did for this one on this side. Continue to do it until you get to the end. This one here looks kind of odd, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and slip stitch back into this beginning stitch. There we go. Now it looks more even. So you skipped a stitch, you slip stitched here. Just go ahead and slip stitch back again and start your foundation crochet. It looks more like a pyramid. And again, I'm going to do 45 single crochet, foundation single crochets on this side. You can make it longer if you like. Again, at the end, chain 1, cut your yarn, and you can hide your tail. This is the bottom strap. I readjusted it to be a little higher on this side. This part goes along your lower back, and then this goes around your neck. Just tie it like you would any tie. And there we go. That's the tutorial to show you how to make this. I don't know if you can call it a flower bikini. It doesn't really look like a flower when I use those colors. It looks more like a flower when I use this one. But either way, it's my version of the crochet bikini. I hope that you like it. And if you have any questions, please ask me on the YouTube that I post or on my site, Melodora Creations. And again, like I said, you can adjust the size. So feel free to mess around with it. See if you can get it to match your size real good. And if you do make one, please let me know how well it fits and if something needs to be improved. And then I will relay it to other people so that they'll know about it before they make theirs. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button and please don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to put the pattern with pictures on my site if you'd like to check that out too. Thanks for watching. Bye.